I believe there has been a lot of progress in Islamic financial services industry during the last decade or so. Islamic financial assets now account for more than 1% of the global financial assets, but still a very modest and a very insignificant proportion of the financial system. How do we go from here to a major role for Islamic finance, not only among the Muslim countries, but also for the rest of the world? In my view, there are 4 or 5 major and very difficult challenges ahead of us. The first is that we have to make people aware, both in the industry as well as in the public policy makers, the regulators, that there is an alternate system which is capable of ensuring financial stability and avoiding the tremendous volatility which has characterized the existing financial system. And the 2008-2009 financial crisis has forced many academics as well as practitioners to think about the alternative system. And I think Islamic financial system provides a platform which should be considered, analyzed, and people made aware of its characteristics and its attributes. The second important point is that the legal and the regulatory environment for Islamic finance is not uniform. Therefore, cross-border transactions suffer from high transaction costs. So we have to get some standardization, some harmonization of legal, Sharia, and regulatory standards. The international finance across the countries is a much easier process, and its costs are very much limited, but that's not the case. Every Sharia board has a different interpretation of each transaction which takes place, and that creates an uncertainty and unpredictability, and therefore we have to invest in coming to grips with this question of transparency, predictability, and certainty. The third issue, which I think is very important, that infrastructure financing, SME financing, the low-cost housing financing, and small farm agriculture financing, which have been neglected by conventional banks, are very much amenable to Islamic finance. That means equity and efficient allocation of resources are possible under Islamic financial system, because through other social protection means like zakat, like awqaf, like sadaqah, and combining the Islamic finance, which is a risk-sharing basis of finance, we should be able to promote financial inclusion and hope that the less privileged and the poor segments of the population can also have access to finance. The fourth element is that we have conventional bankers who have now become the Islamic bankers. But their mindset, their thinking, their training is exactly like that of conventional bankers. So the talent which we are attracting is not well equipped to carry forward the agenda of Islamic banking and Islamic finance. Therefore, we have to create a new cadre of trained Islamic finance professionals who combine the knowledge of Islamic jurisprudence, Sharia, and modern banking. Unless we do that, we would always have a partition between the scholars of Sharia and the bankers. And if they don't meet together, then the growth potential of Islamic finance would always remain stifled. So for all of us, whether we are in the banking industry, whether we are the central bankers or the regulators, or we are in business schools and universities like IBA, we have to work together, because this is not something which we can partition or we can segment. It requires combined efforts of everyone to meet these challenges. If we do that, I'm quite hopeful that the potential of Islamic finance can be realized sooner than later.